Okay, I am at the corner of Broadway and Sunset. This is the edge of Cape May. I'm crossing over onto South Broadway. To the left of me is Cape May. To the right is still West Cape May. This is the southernmost edge of Cape May to the left. And as soon as I cross the next street, which is Grant here, now to the right and left of me is Cape May. So this is all Cape May City. And straight ahead is the beach at Broadway. So we're going to take a little ride around Cape May, give everybody an appreciation for what Cape May looks like in season. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, July 26th. And it's a beautiful day, not too hot, no clouds in the sky. Should be a pretty decent crowd at the beach. So first I'm going to turn and go down to the southern edge of town. This is what's referred to as the Cove, straight ahead. Looks like there's some activity down there, and some kind of emergency rescue squad's there. Must have been some kind of accident in the water. I don't think it could be heat exhaustion today. It's really not that hot today. But this area is referred to as the Cove. Used to be called South Cape May until a nor'easter in 1962 washed out what was then South Cape May and created what has come to be known as the Cove. This is the Cove restaurant to the right. And from time to time, they try to replenish this and fill it in with a lot of sand to make the beach much bigger. They did it after the recent hurricanes, but Mother Nature just comes back and reclaims it. And so there's really not a very large beach here right now. But this is it. This is the Cove. So to the right is the promenade. Cape May doesn't have a traditional boardwalk per se, but there's a promenade. Early in the morning you see people jogging and riding their bicycles along there, but not so much by this time in the afternoon. You can see the sand dunes a little bit. On the other side of the sand dunes is the beach. I don't know, the beach is not really all that visible from here. Cape May is a National Historic Landmark. The entire town is a National Historic Landmark. So there's a whole story that goes along with that. I'm not going to go into it now. But the town has about 600 to 700 very old Victorian style bed and breakfasts. You'll see some of that on this ride. But right now I just want to take a ride through town showing what the beach drive looks like. We're still not at the center of town. You can see off to the right some parasailing. You can, for a fee, they'll take you up, and you can see the yellow parachute out there, and there's somebody hanging from that, and they're pulled by a boat. I don't know if you can really see the beach. There's a lot of beach umbrellas down there. It's not overly crowded now. This is Congress Hall to the left of me. It's a large hotel, over 100 years old. I think Oprah has stayed there a few times when she comes to town. On my left is Uncle Bill's pancakes, the most overpriced pancakes and coffee you can find. This is really the center of town now, coming up to the center of town. To the left is a couple of blocks up is the Washington Street Mall, or the Victorian Mall. That's closed to traffic, so I can't drive down that, but I'll go around it so that you can get a feel for what it looks like. But again, the first leg of this journey is just going to be straight up Beach Drive through town to show, giving a feeling for what Cape May looks like. So these little shops to the left. And what would a shore community be without its miniature golf course, of course? It's Martini Beach on the second floor. The first floor of this building to the left is called Cabanas. And up ahead, it looks like I'm going to be behind one of these trolleys, tourist trolleys, which is okay. I'm in no rush to get anywhere. These are some hotels along here. They're not very picturesque. I think you'll see some of the bed and breakfasts are much more quaint with the Victorian architecture, and you'll see a long string of those coming up on the left once I get through town. You can have a better view now of that parasailing. You can see the individual, I don't know if it's one or two people up there, being pulled along by a boat. So anyway, Cape May is a National Historic Landmark, which means development on some of these buildings have really been halted without changing them to be more modern, like a lot of the other Jersey Shore communities. The individual, there's a whole story behind that. The individual that sought government approval to have the whole town declared a National Historic Landmark was not a member of the local government. And as I understand it, the decision by the government to grant that request and declare the entire town a National Historic Landmark was not well received, because it halted development of this community, which costs a lot of people an awful lot of money. When they, I guess at one point, like a lot of the other shore communities, had in mind tearing down some of these old structures and, you know, building a lot more homes, a lot more modern looking homes. But as you can see, some of these buildings on the left, these are all at one time were private residences and now are bed and breakfasts. And there's a fairly recent trend taking place where a lot of them are now going back to be private residents. That seems to be the trend. There seems to be fewer bed and breakfasts, and more and more of these are becoming private residences again. I'm not sure what it would cost to buy one of these. Obviously it would be in the several millions of dollars, but I'm not sure how it's going to come through on the video, but they're very quaint looking, huge buildings. I don't know how many bedrooms there are in these things, but they're very nice. There's more coming up on the left. here it's required to give the right-of-way to all of the bathers. So whenever you come up to one of these intersections and there's people wanting to cross, you, as a courtesy, you stop and give them the right-of-way. So it's a little stop and go along here. So this is the north end of town. As you can see to my right, there's no promenade deck here. It just goes from the street right to the sand dunes. So I think this is a little less populated, easier to get parking, but you know, you're not in the center of town, and there's no promenade, so you just walk through the dunes to get to the beach. And you can still see there's some old structures, old bed and breakfast structures here to the left. Some before development to more modern structures was halted. There is some condos here that have been put up, but some of these old buildings that haven't been changed are just absolutely magnificent. Coming up on the left is the Peter Shields Inn on the far left-hand corner. Peter Shields Inn is one of the nicest places to eat in Cape May. Very good restaurant. Very pricey. The Morningstar Villa is one of the nicer bed and breakfast. And Peter Shields is also one of those buildings that's reputed to be haunted in Cape May. I'm not sure how many people believe in that, but judging from the popularity of all these shows on various cable networks and coming out of Hollywood, the whole concept of haunting and ghosts seems to be resonating with a lot of people these days. And Cape May certainly has its share of reported paranormal sightings. I'm not sure that I believe in all that, but you know, it is what it is. It's probably as much a tourist attraction as anything else. And Peter Shields Inn is one of the buildings that is reputed to be haunted. Coming up straight ahead is, you can see the road comes to an end, and if I went straight beyond the end of this road, that beach would be referred to as Poverty Beach. And it's called Poverty Beach. I'm not sure exactly what the genesis of it was, but I think one of the reasons is you don't have to pay for a beach tag on Poverty Beach. And of course, you don't have any lifeguards at Poverty Beach either. So if you are in distress in the water, you're on your own. So you don't have to pay for a beach tag, but you don't get anybody to save you if you need help. This is one block off of the beach, obviously, coming back into town. These are not necessarily the old Victorian B&Bs, but you can still see there's a lot of land, these single homes, much more ground than you're apt to find at other Jersey Shore communities, and the buildings are still pretty big. Still very big, actually. Wish I could afford one of them. I can't. My home is in North Cape May, which is not on the Cape Island. It's across the canal, and it's on the edge of the Delaware Bay. So because it's not on the island itself, on Cape Island itself, real estate prices drop pretty significantly. So that's what I chose to do. I guess in my mind, you know, the distinguishing feature is you either live close enough to walk to the beach or you don't. And if you can't walk to the beach, you may as well be off of the island. I'm not sure what you know, from my perspective, I'm not sure it made a lot of sense to pay a high price and live in a home that still would require to get into a car to go to the beach, but you're on the island, so you pay the island premium prices. I'm going to go back into town on Beach Drive just to give one more quick look at that, and then turn up to go to the main shopping area near the Washington Street Mall. I don't know how this video is going to turn out. This will be my first one. Depending upon its quality, I may make more. I may try to remake this one, or I may just abandon the whole thing. The whole idea of making and posting videos. At some point I'll share what gave rise to me getting into this motovlogging thing, but right now I'd rather just stay focused on Cape May and pointing out anything I see that I think might be of interest. And to my left, obviously, now is the Atlantic Ocean, and some of the old B&Bs are on my right. And I'll take a ride up in a minute or two to the right, and you'll see there are 600 to 700 of these Victorian style B&Bs. Cape May also has a very good, in my opinion, a very good restaurant scene for a city of its size. Cape May has about 4,000 residents in the off-season, and that population swells to about 400,000 in season, in the summertime. And I would say about half of the restaurants in town stay open through the wintertime on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So it's a nice community to own a home in or around because it's open year-round. And as a resident of North Cape May, I actually enjoy coming over into town more in the off-season than I do in the heart of the summer. You know, it can be a little problematic to find parking over here in the summertime, and when you do go into the restaurants, you know, it's a pain getting reservations, and it's much nicer in the off season. You go into the restaurants that are open, and you know, they are never busy. You can almost walk into any one at any time and not need reservations. Turn up here. This is Columbia Avenue we're coming up on. You can see these are all of these old Victorian style buildings. I'm sort of just wandering around, no real particular plan as to which streets I'm going to go down or not, just trying to give a sense for what the town looks like. I like to look at videos of Cape May when I'm at my main home outside of Philadelphia. I like to go on YouTube and look at videos, and it gives me something to look forward to. Both in the wintertime and in the summertime when I come down here. So this is, I think, a very quaint community compared to what you'll find in some of the other Jersey Shore communities. Up on the left is the end of the Victorian or Washington Street Mall. You can see the Our Lady of the Sea, or Star of the Sea Church, Roman Catholic Church at the end. It's closed to traffic in the left. Up to the right, just beyond this light, later on in the day, is where all the horse carriages, the hansom cabs park for people that want to take a ride through Cape May on one of the hansom cabs or carriages. This is where they all line up. Sort of the center of town here to the left. You can see the pavilion. It's in the summertime. You know, a lot of nights you see live music going on up in that pavilion. Stop here and try to give a view of the mall. You can see it's close to traffic. It's a pedestrian walkway. It's called a mall, but it's a lot of little shops that are not the kind of chain stores that you would see anywhere else. They're little small entrepreneurial type of businesses. Coming back, it's the end of the mall here. The mall runs 3 or 4 blocks, the Washington Street Mall. This is the end of the other side of Congress Hall, the hotel that I pointed out. I think the other part of Cape May that's worth seeing, that I'm probably not going to go down the other end of town, is the marina. It's where all the party boats dock. So if you're down here and you want to go deep sea fishing, they have a marina with a bunch of party boats, some that go out for 4-hour trips, some go out for 8-hour trips, and then there's some that go out at night. It's an interesting thing to do for a diversion from just going to the beach. And I'm back on Beach Drive, Congress Hall. This is a very abbreviated ride through Cape May. I mean, any one of these streets, you can go back and there's plenty of I don't know, nice real estate to look at. If I go up, I'll just go up this street to give you an example. So this is not Victorian architecture per se, I don't think, but still some very nice homes here within a short 1-block walk to the beach, or a short 1 to 2-block walk to the Washington Street Mall. And now I'm back on Broadway, and I'm going to leave Cape May, the same place I entered it. Speaking of haunted buildings, this building to the left is a restaurant. It's this first year that it's open, Beachside Smokehouse, but it's another building that people claim is haunted. So that's it. That's Cape May. I hope you enjoyed it.